Are you drinking less? Did you stop drinking altogether? If that is you, well, guess what? You're not alone. New polling here from Gallup shows that U.S. drinking rates are at a new low. So much for Friday happy hours. That's out the window, apparently. The percentage of U.S. adults who say they consume alcohol has fallen to 54%, the lowest in Gallup's nearly 90-year trend in following this. Now, on the surface, you're saying that's a good thing, right? And yes, I mean, as someone who does recreationally enjoy alcohol, I haven't stopped, but I would say it's certainly not what it used to be. I think that's just natural as maybe you get older. Maybe it's not, but it seems like, at least for me, it is. I mean, with 3 little kids,
there you go. I was just going to say children.
I mean, it's like, what am I going to do? If I have a beer in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday, I'm toast. They're going to be taking care of me. I'll just be tired. They'll be dragging me around the floor.
The dull headache.
It's like, it's just not worth it to me, you know?
Yeah.
And then by the time they go to bed, I'm so exhausted, I can't even fathom the idea of cracking open a beer. It's just like, that's too much work,
you waste it. You drink half of it and you're out.
I know. And then it's like, well, that's warm. I'll just dump it down the sink, you know? So, but we've seen a huge drop here. And I want to hear from you at 913-408-7957 on what you think is going on. Because on the surface, it's good. But there's a part of me that wonders if this is also being driven by the fact that more people than ever are in isolation. We don't go out. We don't hang out. Happy hours are down.
Increased, though.
Maybe.
Well, at home, that was sort of the idea during our forced lockdowns.
Yes, that's a good point.
Possibly.
Yes, that's an interesting point, John. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, that adds a little bit of a complication to it.
Because it could go either way.
Yeah.
It could be people go home and they're lonely and they start drinking or, dealing with other vices. But then a part of me said to myself, well, if they're not going out, if they're not hanging out with other people, if they're not going to a happy hour here and there, then that's not good either. If they're not drinking because there's nothing social to do, that's problematic as well.
Or it could be the fewer that are drinking more individually. I don't know if we've gotten that far in the survey yet.
I've not seen those numbers.
Yeah.
But here's what's interesting. The biggest drops are from white adults. Obviously, adults, kids don't drink. But it's from whites. In 2023, 67% of whites said that they drank alcohol. It is now down to 56% 2 years later. For people of color in this Gallup poll, it's only down 2 points. Now, what about income levels? For those making less than $40,000, they're down 14 percentage points. 2 years ago, 53% of those who made less than $40,000 a year said that they drank alcohol. Now it's 39%. Those that make $100,000 a year or more, 79% of them said that they drank alcohol 2 years ago. Now, those making six figures, they've dropped 13 points to 66%. Those in the middle income, they're about steady from where they were a couple of years ago. So my initial thought there is, well, poor people just have to squeeze something out of their budget because they've gotten fleeced the most by inflation. So suddenly that 30-pack of beer that's gone up 25%, they're like, you know what, I'll pass. And then those on the wealthiest end, well, the inflation doesn't really impact them, but that seems to be more of a health decision as much as anything else. And what about political breakdown? How about this? The biggest drop in drinking based on political affiliation is amongst Republicans over the last 2 years. 2 years ago, 65% of Republicans said that they drank alcohol. That is down 19 points. Now only 46% of Republicans say that they drink alcohol. Independents off 6 points the last couple of years, and Democrats down 3 points the last couple of years. I figured Democrat numbers might skyrocket because, Trump's now in the White House, so they're all just getting hammered every day because they can't stand the idea of this guy being in the White House with any kind of regularity. But their numbers are just kind of steady where they were 1 year ago. But it's Republicans, it's wealthy people, and it's whites who are largely driving the decline in alcohol consumption. Now, it's a good question I got here on the text line. Well, Pete, what about people who are smoking marijuana? Are they now just smoking marijuana? Nope. Gallup reports here, declines in alcohol consumption do not appear to be caused by people shifting to other mood-altering substances, in particular, recreational marijuana, which is now legal in about half of U.S. states. Although marijuana use is higher today than a decade ago, it has been fairly steady over the past 4 years, and thus does not appear to be a factor in people choosing not to drink alcohol. So it's not like they're moving to weed. That's not happening, John.
I can't help but feel this is an economy thing. I'm hearing what you're saying, but I was in Herman last weekend. There's no shortage of people at any winery in Herman, Missouri, so I don't observe that. There's quite a few wineries in places like Urick. All kinds of places have a winery that you wouldn't think grapes grow there. So I don't know. Around here, it seems to be the opposite.
Just anecdotally speaking?
Well, yeah, I see all these wineries opening up. I know my wife goes. I know it's never like you're going, hey, where is anybody? When you're there, they're usually crowded.
Data is what it is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Let's go to Claire in Waldo. Go ahead, Claire.
Good morning, Pete. I kind of like that drinking is decreasing because my husband and I are bourbon hunters. We have a dedicated bourbon room in our home. We're retired, and we enjoy finding the hard-to-find unicorns, as they say, and we hope that this will make them easier and not have the distillery sending the good bourbon, to China like they have been doing, and they'll be more available to us.
There you go. All right, Claire.
Yeah.
You're on it. I like that. You know, there's something positive coming out of this for everybody.
It's good for 100%. The connoisseur.
Yeah.
All right. Well done there, Claire. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here we go. Look at this, too. The highs of alcohol consumption based on the last 90 years came when? 1974 to 1981. Those were the years of the highest alcohol consumption in this nation's history, at least going back 90 years since they started keeping track of this.
Freaking disco music.
That made everybody go out there and drink. Man. So, I can't help but think that this is overall a positive thing for the culture. But it's interesting to see who's actually driving down these numbers. On the text line, Pete, I've heard that lower liquor sales at restaurants can be a sign of a slowing economy. I hope that's not the case. Well, I think it is when you're talking about the lower income. It's what I talked about earlier. Those making under $40,000 a year have seen a big dip in alcohol consumption, but it's also happening with those making over $100,000 a year. So it can't just be driven by economics. That being said, the amount of money that restaurants are charging for liquor these days is sick. I'm sorry, but when you got places saying $18-20 for a drink, I know they got to make it up. I know that they've got to be able to figure out how to profit in a very difficult time for the restaurant industry. That's absolutely true. I mean, the food prices keep going up. But I'm at the point where just out of basically just to protect myself, I'm not spending $18 a drink. It's sick, man. It's crazy what these restaurants are trying to get away with for liquor. Sure. It's out of control.
Ballpark beer prices?
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
Yep, same kind of thing.
It's easy for me. I just walk in and say, what year of Dr. Pepper do you have on tap here? This is a good one, sir. It's from July.
Oh, my goodness.